Now, since the World Anti-Doping Agency accused Russia of massive violations on Monday, the story has been firmly in the headlines. Calls to punish Russian athletes with a blanket ban from international competitions have been making waves in the media.
There's a chance Russian athletes won't see the Olympic Village in Rio de Janeiro next year.
Championship and Olympic results in athletics going back years, wherever the Russians won, are now being reassessed.
Accusations that Russia has for years been conducting a state-supported doping program in athletics.
The World Anti-Doping Agency is blasting Russia.
And here is the Moscow-based laboratory at the centre of the scandal, the headquarters of Russia's anti-doping agency. The lab's work has been suspended and its head has resigned. The All-Russia Athletics Federation said it was aware of doping problems before the damning WADA report and says it will issue its response to the allegations by Friday. Vladimir Putin ordered an internal investigation into the claims about the widespread use of performance-enhancing drugs.
It's important to conduct an internal and transparent investigation, and I would like to stress that professional cooperation with international anti-doping structures is needed. I agree that the problem is not only a Russian one, but if our foreign colleagues have any questions, they must be answered, and all must be done through a process of open, conscientious professional work together with our colleagues. If we come to the conclusion that someone is responsible for violating the existing anti-doping regulations, the individual must be held responsible. That is the general rule. Responsibility must always be taken. Of course, athletes who have never done any doping, nor even been implicated, they must not bear responsibility for those who have. I would like you to work in this area in cooperation with colleagues from international anti-doping organisations.
Well, doping revelations have damaged the careers of many sports stars from different countries, but rarely has an entire team been banned. Here's some of the top scandals from the last few decades. Canadian Ben Johnson was stripped of his gold medal at the 1988 Seoul Olympics after failing a drugs test. Argentinian football star Diego Maradona was also caught doping in 1994. American track champion Marion Jones used steroids preparing for the 2000 Summer Olympics, and Lance Armstrong was stripped of his 7 Tour de France titles for doping. And then the US sprinter Tyson Gay was suspended for 1 year after testing positive to anabolic steroids. With Russia now at the centre of the latest scandal, some social media users do believe the country is being made a scapegoat. Well, we have spoken to several medical and doping experts, and they have told us that the current situation in sport can be described as a race to find undetectable doping.
It's very challenging because people are in a bit of an arms race. People have moved to microdoses of drugs that are very, very difficult to detect. So there's plenty of holes in the current testing system, so the temptation is immense. And also, athletes get caught up in subcultures where this is seen as, for lack of a better word, normal. And to do anything but dope would be to sort of unilaterally disarm.
It's so difficult to put up a regime which is entirely fair, so long as it's all about winning, because you're trying to get an advantage. And if you want to stick within the rules, then you can see that there is the possibility that you can get a therapeutic use exemption, meaning that you are allowed to use performance-enhancing drugs if you can prove that you have a medical need for it.
Now, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is heading to Britain today, and he's expected to get a rock star reception, with a grand community event on Friday advertised as the highlight of his UK tour.
आप सबको नमस्कार, सत श्री अकाल, केम छो?
And here are more ads of the upcoming Modi event at Wembley Stadium in London. There's extensive ticket information as well. Doors open 2 hours before the event, and the audience is being instructed on how to prepare for the day. And on top of that, there's also a list of performers sharing the stage with the star of the event. The UK Prime Minister will also be there, of course. A picture of David Cameron with an invitation to the concert has appeared online. Well, amid the lavish and warm welcome, there could be a bone of contention, though, with Indians planning legal action against the UK, demanding the return of Britain's most famous crown jewel, as RT's Anastasia Chorkina reports.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
But some of them might not be forever. The Queen is stuck between a rock and a hard place, literally, as the Indian Prime Minister comes into town. A big scandal over one of the world's most famous diamonds is casting a shadow over this palace. Koh-i-Noor, or Mountain of Light diamond, was presented to Queen Victoria during Britain's colonial rule over India. It is set in a royal crown now kept here at the Tower of London. But India thinks it was stolen and must be returned.
Any treasures from any other country which was transferred during the colonial time ought to ideally go back to the country of origin.
But what's Brits' reaction to this?
Well, it depends how we came by it. Did we come by it honestly, or did we come by it dishonestly? If we came by it dishonestly, I think we ought to give it back.
No, it should stay where it is. We should keep it.
Why?
Why? Because they owe us a lot, and we're still paying them.
I think that you should give back to the people where it came from.
No, I think we've looked after it for such a long time that I think we deserve to keep it.
The Indian leader is said to wine and dine with the Queen, while an Indian lobby group is said to even sue the Queen herself to get what was once known as the largest cut diamond in the world, at over 100 carats, worth a reported over £100 million to be returned to the Indian people. So far, the UK's official position is crystal clear. The contested diamond is staying put right here in the UK and not going anywhere.
If you say yes to one, you suddenly find the British Museum would be empty.
Anastasia Chorkina, RT, London.